Yep, what an eventful year that was. After numerous delays and stuff, but we're finally there. We're here now. Stay tuned. Why, hello there YouTube and welcome to a random review, Road to Bond 25. I'm Random Ross and today I finally review No Time to Die. So this is directed by Carrie Joji Fundage or something. I can't pronounce the name. And this stars, of course, Daniel Craig in his final outing as Bond, Rami Malek, Lea Seydoux or something, Lashana Lynch, Ben Whishaw, Naomie Harris, Jefferey Right, Christoph Waltz, and Ralph Fiennes as M. So this is, as I said, the 25th installment of the James Bond franchise, the final outing of Daniel Craig as Bond as well. So in this one, basically, Bond is retired from Her Majesty's Secret Service, but then has to come out of retirement and also reclaim his number 007, because he has a successor in this, who is assigned as 007, named Naomie, who is a woman, first 00 to my knowing. And of course, Bond seeks help from his friends along the way. Well, people, Q, Moneypenny. Also finds out M has a bit of a, he's been a bit naughty and is hiding some secrets of his own. And of course, there is Madeleine Swan, who was the Bond girl from the last film, who is Bond's love interest in this one. And of course, Bond has to, find out why members of Spectre, little spoiler here, are dying off from this bioweapon called Operation Heracles. And there's these like nanobots which kill a particular host from DNA. There's this also another villain played by Rami Malek, called Lucifer Starfin, let's call him Starfin, who has also orchestrated this and plans to unleash a whole world of terror with this bioweapon, and Bond has to stop him. And of course, we get some twists and turns in there, and we even get, a brief moment with Blofeld, Christoph Waltz from the last film. And I will leave it there because that's the essential story, and I want to keep this spoiler free as possible. So, the likes and dislikes now. So what did I like about this? I like Daniel Craig as Bond. Now, I gotta admit, when he started out back in 2006, I weren't too keen on him. I didn't like Quantum of Solace. But by Skyfall, his Goldfinger, he won me over, and I started to embrace him as Bond. Then in Spectre, at this point to me, he was Bond. This one, his final go around, he truly was James Bond, and I loved that. I loved him playing Bond. I even loved that he actually had a bit of fun this time. Also, he laid a few classic Bond puns in there, because we all know Bond has made many puns throughout his time, like when he electrocuted that guy in the bath in, was it Goldfinger, said shocking, or when he, in For Your Eyes Only in the opening, when he's dangling Blofeld over a cooling tower saying, keep your hair on, where could I drop you off? Or, Die Another Day, when he's like, I've missed your sparkling personality. He actually uses some puns in there where he goes, Like there's this one like henchman, like he says he's like a cyclops and he has a bionic eye and he's going, that was a wide eye opener. And then, you know, when he kills him, little spoiler, kills him later on and he explodes the eye and he goes, oh, it blew his mind. I thought, classic Bond pun there. You know, so I like that they referenced a lot of the classic Bond material in there. Not only that, we had like Easter eggs as well of like portraits of the previous M's from the franchise and previous Q's from the franchise as well. Well, there's not that many actors who have played Q because Desmond Llewellyn played Q throughout most of these films, 17 of them. And of course, I also loved the references we had, like in Her Majesty's Secret Service, when they played the theme in the brief scene where Bond is talking with M. They played that theme very gradually, I'm thinking, oh, that's Her Majesty's Secret Service. And then as the credits roll as well, you know, the credits roll to Louis Armstrong's All the Time in the World, which again was played in the soundtrack to one of Her Majesty's Secret Service. And I like that. I also liked another classic quote Bond made in this when he said, we have all the time in the world. I just like those callbacks, you know, those references to classic Bond, including the car in the opening scene, you know, and like I say, great Bond classic references and Easter eggs in there. I really love that. I also love this was non-stop action from beginning to end. We got, you know, a flashback at the beginning in Madeleine Swan's past. We get like, you know, just like I say, non-stop action throughout this film. This film is about 2 hours and 45 minutes long, so almost 3 hours. So watching it is a bit of a time commitment, but those hours just go by like that. I mean, there were a few little bits in the middle act where I was beginning to feel a bit dozy and that, so I thought, nope, I need to sit up, pay attention, because, you know, so there was a mild bit of boredom there, but nothing too boring. Like I say, action throughout. I also just loved, you know, the action we got in there. I love that we got Jeffery Right back as Felix, because we'd not seen him as Felix in Skyfall or Spectre. We did see him in Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace. So I like that we got Jeffery Right back in this. We also had another Bond girl in this, played by Ana de Armas. What was her character's name? Does it say? I can't find it. So yeah, she was in this playing a Bond girl. It was only in like one act of the film, so her screen time was a bit brief in this, but she was like a, how can I say, a rookie, you know, a first goer out on a mission and stuff. So you know, but damn, she was just beautiful in this. I thought she was pretty and sexy and didn't really have that much of a chemistry with Bond. I mean, she did, but it was more like a friendship thing, a friendly thing. So I liked that, you know, he didn't want to like get off and get in bed with her straight away, you know. So we didn't really get much of that in there. Many, you know, bits where Bond gets laid and stuff. Of course, we do get other callbacks to his previous films, because that's one thing with Daniel Craig's era as Bond. His films have actually been connected and carried on from one another. I mean, they have in the past had connections and stuff, references and callbacks, but I think Daniel Craig's era has been the one era where they've actually all been connected and led up to this. Also, not to mention, Casino Royale was like an origin story and a reboot for the whole thing. Yeah, but like I say, I enjoyed Daniel Craig's final performance as Bond, and he did make it count. And you know, he's had a good run and I think, he's pretty much the longest serving actor to play Bond to this day. He's definitely not done the most films. That title belongs to Roger Moore still, but he has played Bond like the longest, like from 2006 to 2021. This film was meant to come out 2 years ago now, in 2019, but then it got delayed to February 2020, then it got delayed to April 2020, then it got delayed because of the COVID-19 pandemic to November, then that got delayed to April, then it got delayed again to October, then to September 30th. The main thing is, it's out now, and I've seen it, and I watched it. Of course, there are some dislikes I do have on this. I feel that Rami Malek's character, Safin, the villain, I feel like he just didn't have much screen time. I get, he was in the opening scene, and he was then appeared in like the second act and then like the final act. I just feel that he is the one that had the least character development in this one. And I always feel that the villain is just as important as the Bond girl and Bond himself. Well, definitely one of the important parts of the side characters. We want our villains to be iconic and memorable. This, I can definitely see him being an underappreciated villain, like just didn't have that much screen time. I mean, Blofeld, he didn't, but we got to see him eventually in You Will Live Twice, and he got some development throughout the films. And also Christoph Waltz returned as Blofeld in a brief scene. He was like only in like one proper scene in the film. But like I say, this one I feel focused a lot more on Daniel Craig's Bond because it was his final show as Bond. So yeah. So now the franchise, what are they going to do next? Well, they have a few options here. They could either reboot the franchise again, have it a clean slate and tell the story again, which I really don't want to see. It was nice seeing it happen with Daniel Craig because it was a fresh coat of paint, but I don't want to see like another reboot. They could either replace him with a new actor and not even acknowledge or notice that he's changed at all like they've done in the past, or they could definitely hand over the mantle, the torch, and put that fan theory to rest and make that confirmed as a true fan theory that James Bond is a code name, and any male spy who gets the number 007 gets assigned that code name James Bond, because we've seen the on-screen transition with M, and we know that Q and Moneypenny are code names as well for MI6, so why should James Bond be any different? I'd like to see that. I'd like to see a handover, something like that. So yeah, the search for the next James Bond, I believe, begins in 2022, and I imagine it's going to be a couple of years yet before we see another Bond movie. Could be 4 years, could be 5 years, could be 2 years. Who knows when we're going to get another Bond film, but this franchise is nowhere near done yet. We still have so many more to come. I also want to just have a few words about Sir Sean Connery, who sadly passed away on October 31st, 2020 at the age of 90. I want to, just pay my respects to him and tribute him because, he's the one who started this all. The legendary actor that started the Bond franchise, playing the iconic spy. His legacy will live on forever. Same with Roger Moore. He too made the role his own iconic image. And again, I don't just identify Sean Connery as Bond, I also identify Roger Moore as Bond, because I grew up watching them two as a kid. Mainly Sean Connery, but still I do have good memories of watching some Roger Moore ones. So yes, those two will be greatly missed. Anyway, yes. So that's pretty much it for this review and this series. It took a long time to conclude, I know, but we got there. We got there in the end, so we've reached our final destination. So, have you seen this one? Let me know down in the comments below if you have. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and share with your friends. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and to hit that notification bell. All my social media links are linked down below in the description, so you can check them all out. I have other content channels if you're interested in them, in horror or science fiction. I have links in the cards above or down below in the description, so feel free to check all that out. I've been Random Ross, and this has been Random Reviews Road to Bond 25, and we got there. So that's it for this one. So until next time, I bid you all a goodbye, friends, goodbye. Ah yes, very nearly forgot. My ratings, I will give it a 4.5 out of 5.